Alright, I have people ask fairly often questions about the pickup and things of that nature. It's an 86 Silverado, stock bench seat. It's not brand new, it's not perfect. It was a factory 4.3 pickup. It's stock gauges with adapter system stuff, you know, just to make the LS stuff work. It's got a launch control button, nitrous button from Motion Raceworks, full interior, everything. I put my wideband in the ashtray just because I can hide it. When you were getting here, aside from the buttons, you can't tell what it's got going on. Full everything. I mean, I'm not taking nothing out. Carpet, the original cardboard backing in the back. It's my computer. Radio still works, the original radio, original speakers. It's pretty dirty right now. It's nitrous fed, of course. It's on a 300 shot. Look at that little 10 bolt. Little bitty 10 bolt. It's got shock extenders, Calvert Racing single adjustables. It's got a 28-11.5 tire on it right now. It's actually way bigger than what I normally use. Stock leaf springs, full trim. Like I said, this truck used to be a little 4.3 truck. It had a toolbox and the whole everything in it. It's got race stars. They're 17 by 4.5 front runners, and it's 15 by 10 rear. The truck was crushed when I got it on this front corner. It was all rolled up under everything, but we just kind of pulled it out. There's no crazy stuff. I actually just recently put these LED projector style lights in there. Are awesome. Hole saw sucked up my finger and I'm hurt my finger. Gotta earn it every time. It is a carbureted 6-liter with a dual plane with a 300 shot. You can critique it if you want. It's been working fine. I drive the truck 80 miles a day, probably 2 or 3 days a week at minimum. It has Hedman mid-length headers. It has a 3-inch over-the-counter X-Pipe kit. I welded up. It's got Hush Power MagnaFlows, truck brackets, factory 4.3 radiator. It's got a fan wired up through the grill. I never turn the fan on at all while driving it on the highway. Ram air cools the truck fine. It's got a Holly Blue fuel pump. It's got a Nitrous Express billet crossbar kit with a 750 brawler. You don't need a big 850 or 950 carburetor to run something that makes around 550 at the crank. Regardless of what you hear, this truck will run plenty rich if I bump the jets up a few sizes. Maybe I gain 5 horsepower if I went to an 850, but with a milled non-choke horn 750, it's fine. It's got an MSD LS series control box, full inner wheel wells. That's the factory 4.3 radiator, like I said, and the shroud just cut. Batteries in the front, everything's still here. I even have the stuff to put AC back on it if I want, but I'm not going to. Fastest it's done, I've only went out one time on a 373 gear. It had 323s before, but fastest I went on 323 was a 1.68 60 foot at a 6.8 or 684 at 102 mile an hour, and 373s it does a 1.6 60 foot all the time regardless, so I know that there's a lot to be had there. It'll do 101 102 mile an hour in the 8th consistently all the time, but a lot of weight to be shed. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I feel like it's fine where it's at. It doesn't transfer weight very well. But anyway, a bunch of people ask questions about it. It's the simplest thing you could imagine. It's got a Tinworks Fab mount kit on it. Of course, I welded up that little line there just because I had to notch this piece here and I didn't want it to flex any. It's got Taylor wires. It's got a 3200 stall converter off of eBay. I don't even know the brand. It may have been Chicago Total Transmissions. It's got a TH375, which is a turbo 400 with the turbo 350 output shaft. I've dual fed it, done little cheap Brian Swain, do-it-yourself modifications to it. It's actually running a high energy Borg Warner clutch right now. Nothing special, nothing crazy. Right now on nitrous, the truck makes in the neighborhood of 750-ish and up at the rear wheels. Sure, I could add more nitrous to it and get to the 800 mark, but it's driven very consistently all the time, and it's a pretty good pickup. It weighs 4,000 pounds with me in it, and that's about it, folks. It's a pretty fun little pickup. The motor with that cylinder head and everything, you can buy an 08 and up 3/4 ton 6-liter truck and you will have the exact same long block as me. I haven't changed anything in the short block. It's completely stock. It's actually a Gen 3 6-liter out of an 04 3/4 ton pickup. So it has Gen 3 rods, it has a dished piston, and it has a big open chamber 823, of course, which on them 08 and up 3/4 ton trucks, that's the same cylinder head casting they run on an LS3. It just has a different valve in it. It's around 9.5 to 1 compression, still nothing crazy there, and it works pretty good. I mean, it gives quite a few people a run for their money with hardly any money. You can buy that whole long block from a junkyard probably right now for $500. But that's it. I just thought I'd give everybody a little bit of insight on what the truck's all about. Thanks.